is November the 30th, and this is Sunrise with Wayne and Pat.
It is, and thank you for being with us. And a quick reminder of where we are. You can find us on cable channel 10, that's Spectrum. You can also find us on cable channel 99 for AT&T UVerse. We're on both those providers. And we run this program every morning at 7 o'clock, and it repeats at noon, then it re-repeats at 5:30 p.m. Good morning, I'm Wayne Alley.
And I'm Pat Garner.
We haven't done that in a while.
I see that.
I just thought I'd throw that in there.
You kind of caught me off guard a little.
I know I did, but that's okay. You responded nicely.
I did.
Well, see, I just kind of like to make it up as we go along.
That's what's so scary.
I know.
I never know what's going to come out.
Where's my, I have a...
Well, before you do that, let's talk about this.
Want to talk about this?
Today is the last day.
Today's the last day for this.
5 p.m.
Today's the last day. At 5 o'clock is the last day. Today, the City of Goldsboro and Wayne County Essential Single Family Rehabilitation Loan Pool Disaster Recovery Program.
Would you like to say that again?
No. This is the Hurricane Matthew assistance thing here. Today's the last day to apply for this. If you have a house in which you live in the city of Wayne, in the city of Goldsboro, County of Wayne, listen to this. This could apply to you if you've had damage from Hurricane Matthew or tropical storms Hermine or Julia. The City of Goldsboro has received funding through North Carolina Housing Finance Agency under the Essential Single Family Rehabilitation Loan Pool Disaster Recovery Program. The program is designed to assist with the rehabilitation of owner-occupied homes damaged by Hurricane Matthew, and tropical storms Julia and Hermine in the city and in the county of Wayne. Now, this is who may qualify. You may qualify if this is for homes located in the city of Goldsboro, the county of Wayne. Homes with an annual gross income that do not exceed 100% of the area median income for the city and the county. Homes that have received at least $5,000 damages from either Hurricane Matthew, Tropical Storm Julia, or Tropical Storm Hermine. Homes where the cost of repairs do not exceed the program limit of $40,000. Homes that have not received loans from the Small Business Administration for repairs. 5 o'clock today is the cutoff on this. City of Goldsboro will be accepting applications until 5 o'clock this afternoon. Contact the Community Relations Department for more information about this, and you can do that by calling the number 919-580-4359.
That is right. But
also, there's more.
Let's mention this. You know, Governor Roy Cooper came to Wayne County.
He did.
A couple of weeks ago.
He did.
And they have opened up the Hurricane Matthew Housing Recovery Application Centers. And for Wayne County, it is at the Veterans Office,
which is at 1001D East Ash Street, right next to the Senior Center.
And the visit application centers begin today. So you should have already called ahead, had an appointment, and now the centers are open.
So you can't just walk in, you need to make an appointment. So you need to call before you go and make an appointment.
Yes, and that number is 919-366-4074.
What was that number?
919-366-4074.
You knew I was going to say that. Right?
I did.
I knew you did. I knew I did.
So there's still a lot of help out there for the Hurricane Matthew survivors.
Yeah. And rightly so, because there's people who still cannot get into their homes, and it's been over a year. So what's special about today, huh?
What is special,
Well, besides
Wayne?
the fact that today's the last day of November, we're 11/12ths through the year, if you're keeping up with that sort of thing. After today, there's only 25 days till Christmas and only 31 days till New Year's. How about that? Of course, you could have figured that out, couldn't you?
Yeah.
Okay. Today's the 30th. What's special about today? Today is special because today is Cities for Life Day. Cities for Life. I have no idea. Today is Computer Security Day, which is becoming a big issue, a big problem. Always has been. But you would think that by now somebody would be on top of this thing, but no. The bad guys who want to drop viruses in your computer continue to do this sort of thing on a daily basis. You know, there's hundreds, not even hundreds, but thousands of viruses that come out every day. There's people around the world creating these things to create havoc, wreak havoc, and take your money. So make sure everything you have in your home that is electronically, all your electronics that use chips, that use the internet, that use anything like that, make sure that you have the proper security.
And we've had Wayne Community talk about this, right?
We have had Wayne Community talk about it. In fact, I've got a cybersecurity thing running right now from Wayne Community College. So if you get a chance to check that out, check that out. Today is also National Mason Jar Day. Now, do you know what a mason jar is?
Yeah.
I thought you would. Well, you're a country girl. You live out of the country, and I'm from the country, believe it or not. Actually, I'm a hillbilly. I really am. My stock, if you would, my folk come from the hills.
Okay.
So I'm well aware of what mason jars are and what you do with them. Yum, yum. Anyway, today's Mason Jar Day. There you go, y'all. Okay. It's also National Meth Awareness Day. If you're not aware of meth and methamphetamines and all that, man, I tell you what, that's such dangerous stuff. So dangerous. Today is Stay Home Because You're Well Day.
Oh, well, I need to go back home then.
No. I don't get that one. I don't get that one at all. Well, let's see. This was yesterday. Yesterday, you went over to the Veterans
I did.
Memorial Park across the street from the courthouse here, and we'll have that video coming up soon. There was a new monument placed on the grounds there at the Veterans Memorial Park. It is the Purple Heart Veterans, Purple Heart monument celebrating, recognizing, and celebrating those many who have paid the ultimate sacrifice. Purple Heart, of course, is given to those who have received injury during combat, or in fact even died during combat. So that's a very serious matter, and I hope you were there.
And if you were not there, stay tuned to Channel 10, and we will have it airing later on.
That we will. It'll be another day or so before we get that up there. Let's go to our next segment. We'll go to our next segment, and we'll come back on Sunrise with Wayne and Pat. Today we're at the Facilities Department, and we're going to find out exactly what that is. We're here talking with Kendall Lee, who's Director of Facilities Department. And facilities, what is facilities? And it is, people don't realize how big it really is. You have a lot of people working under you here.
We do. We have 42 people working for us. We are the housekeeping, groundskeeping, fleet maintenance, sewer, construction, and the maintenance department.
All for the Wayne County government.
Yes,
all
sir.
for Wayne County
Yes,
government.
sir.
Now, that's a lot of people, and that's a lot of departments. They have a lot of responsibility. Kendall, gee whiz, where do you start? Tell us about, you have how many departments now under you?
Like I said, six departments.
All
Yes,
right.
sir.
All right. Now, let's talk about facilities housekeeping now, for instance.
Yes, sir.
You got Maurice.
I do. Maurice Green is my housekeeping supervisor, thank goodness. I hope he doesn't go anywhere. But he takes care of the housekeeping. He keeps the ladies and gentlemen. We have, like I said, probably 22, 23 of them are housekeepers in various buildings throughout the county. And he keeps them, their supplies, they know what to do. I mean, as far as cleaning their buildings, everybody knows that.
Yeah.
But he keeps them their supplies, and if they have any issues, equipment, whatever, he's in charge of all of that. Make sure they're doing it like, we want it done. You just want everything to be clean.
Right.
And, yep, that's his.
And you mentioned the buildings that we have. The Wayne County, the County of Wayne, the government.
Yes, sir.
We have a lot of buildings, not just the courthouse. We have the health department. That's a building all in itself.
Yes, sir, it is. We've actually counted up. I mean, technically, we've got 86 buildings we look at there, but that's misleading because some of them are airplane hangars and storage buildings and whatnot. But then again, you've got courthouse and Jeffries building, Borden building, libraries, EMS stations, sheriff's department.
And all these need to be cleaned.
All of them have to be cleaned. The grounds have to be kept up. Yeah.
That's right. You got landscaping. You got
Yes,
grass
sir.
to cut. You got tree limbs to remove. And
That's right. And the maintenance on them, keeping the lights working, keeping the heat and air on, keeping the roof from leaking. It's a constant battle. It really is because we've got so much of it. But we've got a really dedicated team of maintenance staff, and we do. I think we do a pretty good job of it. We get a lot of compliments on these guys.
when you say maintenance staff, you actually have some highly skilled personnel.
Oh,
I mean,
we
we're talking
do.
electricians. We're talking,
do.
We're talking water, sewer, plumbers, HVAC.
We do, and all these guys are licensed. I mean, we have to send these. Well, our electrician came to us licensed, but our HVAC guys are licensed. Our sewer department. I mean, that is a license that you have to keep up every year. Our groundskeepers have pesticide license. You know, it's a lot to it.
Not to mention our water plant that we have to look after. That's another part of the county.
That's a whole nother part of it. The sewer system, we only have a small sewer system. When I say small, it's only like 9 miles, but matter of fact, we're just before adding to it because the sewer system coming from Grantham schools is going to be in addition to it. Now, we're just before beginning that construction project, just awarded it to TA Loving. That's like 4 miles, 5 miles of line that's going to leave Grantham elementary, or I guess middle school. Well, no, the middle school is the new school.
That's right.
And then the elementary school, it's going all the way to Grantham, to the landfill. So that'll be even more sewer line that we have to look after. But yes, sir, we look after that as well.
And there's a lot of skill involved with taking care of that as well.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. John Cash is our sewer guy, and
John
he's
does a great job.
John is a level 4. I mean, they do collections on levels, and our system only requires a level 2. He's a level 4 technician. He knows what he's doing too. He really does, and thank God for that.
All right, well,
he's good.
All right, what about some of the other areas as well? We're talking about the facilities and the care of the building, care and feeding of our buildings. What else are we looking at?
Well, the buildings themselves, like I said, I mean, we keep them painted, keep the floor covering changed, and that's, I mean, we're a long ways from where we need to be, but we are leaps and bounds ahead of where we were. I think all of our buildings look really good. We've got a lot of things we want to do, you know, to upgrade some of our existing buildings. We've torn down a lot of buildings. You know, there was a lot of buildings that were just to the point that it was just not cost effective to keep them. So we've torn those down. But then again, we're building new ones. Just built a new jail.
That's
just
right.
building a new Maxwell Center.
By the way, when is that detention center going to open? Excuse me. I just thought I'd throw that in.
That is funny that people thought it was not open because they didn't see prisoners inside that fence.
That's right.
It really is. But I guess if you don't know, you don't know.
Well, they probably equate it to the county, the other, not county, but the state facilities, and you see people outside at the state facilities.
Well, that's right. And another thing is there's so few people that it required to run that building that there's hardly any vehicles parked there either.
That's true.
You know, I mean, you would think that if it's open, there must be 50 vehicles there. That's not correct at all. There's probably only 8 or 9 people there at the time looking at the 200 inmates.
And that's because it's a state-of-the-art facility
Yes,
with a design, purposely designed to take as few staff members as possible.
Absolutely.
It's the way it's laid out is brilliant.
It is brilliant, and one thing that a lot of people don't know, and I probably ought to leave this for your sheriff's interview, but there are probably 50 or 60 inmates in that jail that other counties are paying us to keep. We're making money with that jail compared to we were having to pay other people to keep our inmates before that was built. It's actually making money.
That's a very good point. And up until this detention center was built, we had to pay other counties to house our inmates.
Absolutely, probably in the neighborhood of $1 million a year.
It was a lot of money.
And now we're probably making that $1 million a year. And in the very near future, I hope it's not a long ways down the road, we'll build onto that facility. That's only 1/3 of obviously a 3-part addition to that. When we get finished, there'll be upwards of 200, 250 inmates from other counties they'll be paying us to keep, which will pretty much pay for that new facility. It won't cost the taxpayers of Wayne County a dime after we're through with the 3rd part and we're collecting that much money.
There will be a break-even point.
Oh, easy.
Easily a break-even, but we were paying, for some reason, the number of $50 per inmate per day.
Per day.
Is what it was costing us.
That's right.
Now,
And
we're getting that back.
We're making $50 per day per inmate. It's a lot of money. When you add it up, it's a lot of money. And I'm not a mathematician, but I believe me and the sheriff figured it a couple of days ago. It's in the neighborhood of $360,000 a year.
Roughly
That's a lot of money.
$1,000 a day is
Yes,
what
sir.
we're making on that
Yes,
right
sir.
now.
Yes, sir. And I might be wrong on that. It might have been 3. I'm not a mathematician. Let me stop right
Okay.
there. It's a lot of money. It's a lot of money.
Okay, I can understand.
Edit that part out. It's a lot of money.
I like that. It is a lot of money. Okay, moving on to fleet maintenance now, because
maintenance.
county cannot run on shoe leather. We have to have these cars and trucks and everything running.
We do, and the county owns well over 300 vehicles. And before that, we were going to just outside vendors, just having vehicles serviced and getting different levels of service. Some of them were very good, some of them were not. But now, County Manager George Wood came up with the idea to open our own fleet shop in-house, and we have 3 employees over there. Jamie Taylor is my supervisor there, and I've got 2 more guys working, and we take care of every single vehicle the county owns now, and we know what level of service they're getting now, and they're getting serviced from top to bottom every single time they come in, and that is a plus because our vehicles are safe, they're inspected, we do all of that in-house. The only things we'll send out to other shops if they are a larger job or more sophisticated job than we can handle, but that is very rare that we send them anywhere.
Routine maintenance, I mean, you're talking oil changes, you're talking about tire rotation, in fact, replacement of tires. You're talking,
That's right.
In fact, we had fire extinguishers to make sure the fire extinguishers were installed and current in the vehicle.
That is correct. That's another thing facilities does. We look after all the fire extinguishers in every building in the county, and this year we got to talking about the ones in vehicles, and we knew we had them in our vehicles, but when we really got to checking, the county had a lot of vehicles that didn't have fire extinguishers in them, and we this year put them in every single vehicle we've got, and the buildings as well, so we maintain those. But yes, we do have those in the vehicles. But as far as the service, going back to the service on them, if you go to some of your fast, quick lube type places, they're going to unscrew the filter, screw a new filter on, and pour 5 quarts of oil in it.
And that's it.
That's what you're getting for $26.
And that's not good.
No,
that's not enough.
We're greasing every grease fitting on them. We're changing filters. We're checking shock absorbers. We're rotating tires. I mean, if it's movable part on that vehicle, it's getting checked. If it's a safety issue, it's getting checked every single time it comes in.
That's right.
Every time.
That's right. And that's a lot of vehicles.
It's a lot of vehicles. And another way it's good for the county, these guys are looking at them. They know if that vehicle has a useful life, and we can keep it for another few years because we've kept it up. Or they'll be looking at them and saying, you know what, it's really not cost effective to keep this vehicle, at which time we'll tell that department manager we need to replace that vehicle. It's either not safe or it's just costing more money than it's worth.
And you're not only talking, when you say vehicles specifically, you're talking, of course, about the county cars and utility trucks and that sort of thing, but you're also talking about sheriff's cruisers.
We're talking about the sheriff department cars, and that's probably I care about all of them, I really do, but the 2 that are really passionate to my heart is the sheriff's cars and the EMS ambulances, right. Because they're driving really, really fast at times. Unfortunately, they have to drive really fast. They take special brakes, they take special rotors, they take lots of special things that your average vehicle doesn't take. And we really pay a lot of close attention to those. We pay attention to all of them, but those are priority without a doubt. Ambulance comes in, no matter what's on the rack, it sits on the rack. We're fixing that ambulance. It's got to go. And same thing with those deputy cars. They got to go.
It's got to be safe.
Got to be safe.
Okay, we've talked about fleet maintenance. We talked about the buildings. We talked about cleaning, housekeeping. What else do we have? And we talked about, of course, the sewer system and all that. What else do we have?
We look at the construction as well. Like I said, when we built the new jail, I personally, I've got one more guy that's been in the construction business for a lot of years, Terry Littleton, and myself. We both manage. When somebody's building something for us, they obviously come with their own site managers. Right. Out at the Maxwell Center, David Lewis is out there doing that right now, and he's doing
good too.
Phenomenal job. Yes, he is. I can't say what he is. He's a very particular guy. That's the polite way to put it with a TV camera in front of me. He is a very curious young man, and I promise you the county is getting way more than it's paying for with that building. But Terry and I, we kind of watch these buildings as well. We want to make sure that the county is getting what it's paying for, and that we are going to do. We go out there almost every day. If we don't go every day, we at least go every other day, one of us, and we watch these buildings as they're being built and make sure that part's done for the county as well. And we're into planning stages of the EMS stations. You know, we're about to build 4 EMS stations. We're about to build a new 911 center back here in the woods behind us there, over by the animal shelter. We're about to build a 50,000 square foot shell building for Development Alliance. I mean, we're in the planning stages with all of that as well, and we'll watch that kind of activity go on. We'll be 100% in that until it is a functional building, at which time then we'll turn over and start taking care of the maintenance on it.
It just never ends, does it?
It never ends. Another thing we do that I don't think a lot of people realize, we pay the utilities for every single building in the county. We look after their light bills and sewer bills and water bills. They all come through here.
I didn't realize that.
They do. And a matter of fact, one thing that a lot of people will notice that we're in their way, and I apologize for that, but you see us going through these buildings now changing lights. Yeah. We're taking the old light bulbs out, the old T8 light bulbs, and putting in LED light bulbs. And I mean, we're talking about 35-40% savings. Right. On these. My favorite story, we've got over by the new DRC, there's a parking lot there. It's probably got 24, 25 pole lights in it.
What is DRC?
Day Reporting Center.
Oh, that's near the health department.
Near the health department. Right. That parking lot's probably got 24, 25 light poles in it. We changed those over to LEDs. That light bill was $450 a month. When we changed them over to LEDs, it's $67 a month.
Wow.
$67.
Wow, that's a big saving. Now, we're talking about thousands of lighting.
Oh, thousands and thousands. We've probably replaced just LED bulbs. I bet we're probably up to 10,000 bulbs right now, and we're nowhere near done.
Wow.
Nowhere near done. And like I said, 35 to 40% savings on some. Now, I know that particular one was more than 35 or 40, but most buildings, you've still got air conditioning units and things that work, and your computers and whatnot as well. We're just talking about lighting, and we're going to save a lot of money on lighting. The finance department tells me that 4 or 5 years ago, before we started this project, that we were spending $880,000 a year on light bills. Last year, I think we spent $570. We're saving
that's about
we're
40%.
saving some money. We're saving some money, and we're a long ways from where we want to be. We've got buildings now that we're insulating the attics of some buildings that didn't have insulation in them. We're changing some windows, putting energy efficient windows in. Matter of fact, these are some of them. Taking the old windows out and putting energy efficient windows in. It is an ongoing process. It'll never be over. You know, there'll always be something else to do. But anything we can do to save the taxpayers money, to save us money on light bills and water bills and sewer bills, we're going to do it.
That's good, man. That's great. Now you say you have 6 areas of which you're in charge. Now, who are your directors or your leaders in those areas?
In my housekeeping department, Maurice Green is my supervisor. In my groundskeeping department, Robbie Blanton is the supervisor. John Cash he's actually the sewer supervisor, but he supervises himself because he's the only one out there. But he does a good job. I think his help minds him well. Yes. They do. I don't think he has a lot of personnel issues. But over at the fleet shop, Jamie Taylor is the supervisor there. But as far as construction or maintenance and HVAC, electrical, I take care of that in-house. Right. Those guys come here every morning. I'll get emails all day long today of things that the people in the building see that are wrong. Might see a light blown or an exit light out or a door that doesn't work, and they'll email me those items, and tomorrow morning at 7 o'clock those guys get them. That's what they'll work on. So if I get a work order, it's going to be fixed tomorrow. Now, if it's flooding or it's on fire, we'll go ahead and go today. We'll go ahead and take care of that today. If it's an emergency, we'll go do it now, but most of the time somebody sends me a work order, we're fixing that tomorrow.
All right. Now, when somebody calls over here from somebody in the courthouse will call over here, there's somebody in the county office building or health department will call over here. Who answers the phone?
Joanne Hahn, she's my office manager. Okay. She'll answer the phone, and most of the time they'll call us if it's more of an emergency, but if it's just your routine work order, we like to do that through email. Right. So I've got a paper trail of you asked for it, and I can say I did it.
Also able to rate the importance, if it's an emergency right now, if it's low.
Yep, that's it. I put them in order of priority. I mean, obviously that's what we want to do, is whatever's priority. We want to fix them all. Mm-hmm. But if your table needs moving over 5 inches or the light's smoking, you know, we might figure which one's priority on that one.
Okay.
But
all right, very good. Kendall, I appreciate you talking to us, man. That's a lot of great information, and we could probably go on another 3 or 4 hours talking about
we
this.
could go on and on if you want to, but probably what we'll do is we'll let you talk to some of those supervisors individually, and maybe they can hone in on particular skills of that department.
That's
if you
a
would
great
like
idea.
to do that.
Yeah, we can do that.
Yeah,
we
no
can do
problem.
That. Kendall Lee is Director of the Facilities for the County of Wayne. Kendall, thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
All right. We are back on Sunrise with Wayne and Pat. Thanks for being with us. The Beekeepers of the News, the local bee club, is going to have and offer students classes coming up, beekeeping classes. This is something it's a lot of fun. It's a great hobby, beekeeping, and it's very important to our environment. Bees do great work. In fact, if you enjoy food, then you ought to thank a bee. Not only the farmer, but thank a bee as well. Basic beekeeping class is open to everyone interested in becoming a new beekeeper. And here's how you do that. It's going to be sponsored by the Beekeepers of the News in partnership with the Wayne County Cooperative Extension Service. It's going to be taking place in January. January 13th is the first class. And all the other classes is January 13th, January 20th, January 27th, then February 3rd, and then February 10th. Each class is from 9 a.m. until 1 p.m. It's a morning class. Early registration is encouraged to ensure textbook and class materials are ready. So register early for this. And there are 2 ways you can do this and pay for the class. Number 1, mail your registration form and check before December 15th. So you only have 2 weeks before December 15th and receive a discount of $10. And here's the address. Mail it to Beekeepers of the Noose, N-E-U-S-E, P.O. Box 977, Goldsboro, 27533. P.O. Box 977, Goldsboro, 27533. And the second is on-site registration the day of the event. On-site registration begins at 8 o'clock on January 13th, first class, at the Wayne County Cooperative Extension Service office. That's at the corner of George and Chestnut. Yes, George and Chestnut Street. The cost is $60 per person or the entire family for $85. $60 for you. Your entire family wants to go and do this, so you get all your kids together. If you got 30 or 40 kids, so much the better. Breaks it down, $2 a piece. All right, $85 a family, and that includes your textbook, your classroom training materials, your refreshments, ongoing training, a certified bookkeeper, beekeeper mentor, 1 textbook per individual or family. So if the whole family goes, you only get 1 textbook. Make your checks payable on money orders payable to Beekeepers of the Noose. Payments received before December 15th. Pay $50 and $50 for individual registration, $75 for the whole family. Credit cards will be accepted on registration day. Now, get a chance to become a certified beekeeper. Or I understand that once you're a certified beekeeper, you can actually move on to other letters. You know, you guys can become a C keeper, D keeper, E keeper, anything like that. So there you go. Ta-da! Okay.
Mention this.
What? Mention this?
No, yep.
At the Paramount Theater. At the Paramount Theater this weekend, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, December 1, 2, and 3. That will be the Nutcracker Ballet taking place at the Paramount Theater. Tickets are $13 to $18, depending on where you're sitting. The curtain time on Friday and Saturday is 7 p.m. The matinee on Sundays at 3 p.m. And this is the Goldsboro Civic Ballet's production of the Nutcracker Ballet. The Nutcracker is a Christmas tradition for many families. And it just gets better every year. These folks have been doing this a long time. Every year they put this performance on. And it is a great event. You'll want to go to this. This Friday, Saturday, or Sunday, you have 3 days to go. All right?
Okay.
And don't forget A Christmas Carol. We've got A Christmas Carol coming up, and there's been some additions made to make the, they just changed it up a little bit. It does not change the message of the play, The Christmas Carol, but it does add a little bit of levity, more levity to an already fantastic play. It's coming up on December 8th, 9th, and 10th at the Paramount Theater. Bah humbug and Merry Christmas to all. There you go. I think they say Happy Christmas in the original. But anyway, Merry, Happy, whatever. Center Stage Theater's been doing this since 2008. That's a long time. That's 19 years they've been putting this on. 19 years. So get your tickets now. They're 13, 18 bucks, somewhere in there. A Christmas Carol, another Christmas tradition, December 8th, 9th, and 10th at the Paramount Theater. There you go. Lots of Christmas stuff going on this time of year.
It is.
For
Don't
some
forget,
reason.
this Saturday is the Christmas parades.
That's right.
We start out at Mount Olive at 10, we go to Fremont at 1, and we come back to the town of Goldsboro at 4.
And then on Sunday, December 3rd, is the Pikeville Christmas Parade. And then on Sunday, December 10th, is the Eureka, I Found It Parade, Christmas Parade.
And they both begin at 3.
And they both begin at 3. Pikeville, December 3rd. Eureka, December 10th. Both begin at 3 o'clock. Well, that's it for today. But I do want to give the answer to yesterday's trivia question.
Okay.
Which I never responded to. I just kind of slipped the old brain there. But look, here's the answer to the trivia question from yesterday. Yesterday, the question was, whose picture is depicted on a $100,000 bill, which they don't print anymore, but we did have it one time. It was a president. It was. The $100,000 bill was used to transfer funds between financial institutions, primarily for that. You couldn't go out and get one at the bank, I don't think, anyway. But they don't do this anymore. But there was a $100,000 bill, and the picture depicted on the $100,000 bill was President Woodrow Wilson. It was Woodrow Wilson in the early 1900s, around World War I. That's whose picture was on there. Now, we didn't have a trivia question today, but we'll have one tomorrow. Okay? All right. Well, that's it for this Thursday. And?
Like us on Facebook, follow us on Instagram and Twitter, and watch us on YouTube at Wayne County Government.
Moving along here. Moving along quickly.
Sorry.
And until tomorrow, I'm Wayne Alley.
And I'm Pat Garner.
And this is Sunrise with Wayne and Pat.